Hi everybody, what's up? My name is Nadia. As you know, per my channel, I just wanted to talk about my biggest mistake being on the carnivore diet. Um, and it's something you should know if you're eating, plant-based, turning into carnivore. I was plant-based for 8 years, and you can watch my previous video about my experience doing that and then switching to the carnivore diet and eating my first piece of steak. You can watch that video from a year ago. And then I wanted to also say that, in this video, I just wanted to talk about my experience. I'm not going to talk about the science. I'm not going to talk about biology or anything scientifical. This is only testimonial. And it's my experience and what I've been going through this past year being a carnivore. And the biggest mistake I did being a carnivore, being on the carnivore diet. So, my microbiome is compromised. It's been compromised for a good 8 months just because, yes, when I ate my first piece of steak, delicious. It was yummy, okay? And I felt great. I had high energy within 20 minutes. My brain was faster. It felt amazing. But after, let's just say like 6 months, 7 months, I've noticed that, when I was eating meat every day, I was eating about, let's just say 16 ounces a day of beef, organic grass-fed beef every day, along with fruit smoothies every day, a lot of high carbs, white rice. As a skinny person, I've never had to worry about weight issues. But nutrition is still of the most importance for everybody in this world, skinny or not. And so this year, I just was eating a lot of meat and a lot of fruit. So my microbiome was compromised, can I not say the word? Compromised, because I was eating a lot of sugar. And even though it was organic and from fruit, I was eating way too much sugar with white rice and then also with fat mixed in together every day. And yes, I felt amazing eating meat, but then throughout like the months, I started getting bloated. And then from mid-February, January, I started eating meat, January 2024. And then mid-February, I started getting sick. And then every 2 months going forward, I was getting sick, like a cold, runny nose, an itchy throat, coughing. And then the biggest one I got hit with was laryngitis, which was 3 months ago. And so that I've never had in my life. And I knew something was up 3 months ago. I'm like, okay, it's been a year. Okay, I do feel good being on the meat diet, the carnivore diet. My brain is working faster. I have more energy. I feel great, but then I get sick every 2 months and I feel bloated. And now I'm on my 8th month of being carnivore and my brain isn't as fast when I was eating meat the first, 6 months before. I know that's strange. Like my brain was fast when I was eating meat, then it got slower when I was eating meat later on. But I'll tell you why. It's because every 2 months, my microbiome was being compromised. I mean, it was rebuilding, but then it was being broken down because I was eating high sugar, high fat mixed in together. If I was just eating carnivore fully, just carnivore, just meat every day, that would have been fine. But I was eating like smoothies every morning. I was eating a lot of carbs, like white rice every day, mixing in with meat. And I think because I was plant-based for 8 years, my body was so used to the high carb, low fat diet. And so my microbiome was taking forever to get used to that. And it was fine. My body can get used to it, but I wasn't letting it get used to it because I was adding in the sugar along with the fat. It should have just been the fat. Do you follow? And so that's been my experience. And so I've been following Dr. Gabrielle Lyon. I've been following other doctors like Mark Hyman and other doctors on YouTube because, why not get it for free online and apply it to my life? And then I have a nutrition coach, a health coach who's helping me get my microbiome better because he himself is on the carnivore diet and he's doing it correctly. And I didn't do it correctly. I mixed in a lot of high sugar, high fat together, and it compromised my microbiome, which compromised my immune system, are both linked. So I want to talk about that in the next video about how the microbiome, biologically, scientifically proven with studies, how sugar is the culprit for a lot of things in terms of aging, having a slower brain, compromising the microbiome, having a bloated stomach. And this has been through my experience all through this year, you know, having bad microbiome issues because of having a diet that I didn't correctly do. And so if you're going to do the carnivore diet, please, please, please reduce your amount of sugar by a whole lot, like 20% in the day, like a cup of blueberries, and just eat for the rest of the day meat, high grass-fed organic beef. Okay, beef. I mean, beef is the best. I love it. It's great. It's chicken is great too, but I feel amazing on just eating beef. So it's been 3 months. So it's been the 3-month mark, not the 2-month mark, and I have not been sick. Okay, I feel great. I feel good. And it's because I've been eating meat every day and not sugar, like smoothies. Like I do eat a cup of blueberries, and sometimes I'll eat like sourdough bread here and there throughout the week, but that's it. I don't eat white rice. I don't eat bread. I don't eat desserts. I'm not going out eating like, you know, putting like a bunch of sweet sauces on top of my meat. If I do go out to eat, it'll be once a week on a cheat day, which is like my, you know, once a week is like just eating out wherever I want. But other than that, I've been very, very strictly on just eating beef and just a cup of blueberries just to satisfy some of my sugar cravings, because I was addicted to sugar. I was addicted. I really liked it. I was on it for a high carb, low fat diet for 8 years being plant-based. So it makes sense why I could not let it go. And not even could not let it go. I didn't even know that sugar was not included in the carnivore diet. I know, stupid, but it's true. I was just, you know, I was experimenting, and then I realized, you know, sugar is not good. At least high sugar, high levels of sugar is not good with high levels of fat, especially if your body's not used to eating so much fat. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, you're mixing in fat with a lot of sugar. I don't understand. And I'm going to talk about that in my next video, why the body is not a big fan of sugar, even if it's organic and from fruit. Nothing wrong with fruits. You can eat fruits. Just high levels of sugar is when it turns into poison. Okay, but that's just me and studies I've read and the research I've done. So I'm going to talk about that in another video, why the body doesn't like sugar. But yeah, that's my experience being a carnivore and doing it wrong for 1 year. So don't do that. And I hope this video was helpful, guys. Please like and subscribe, as they say. Have a great day. Bye.